Right now, I'm in the country that eats the most horse meat per capita. I'm talking about Kazakhstan. In Kazakhstan, there are two types of horses. Horses for riding and horses meant for eating. Yeah, you look surprised. I know. In fact, after China, Kazakhstan is the second biggest consumer of horse meat in the world. Here you'll find horse milk, horse cheese.
It's a match made in heaven.
Horse meat. Is this your first time eating in a hay barn? Even horse sausage. That is a monster sausage, my man. Today, I'm headed to a countryside home on a mission to delve deep into this unusual custom. And by the end of this video, I'll be treated to a bizarre finale, an entire meal cooked inside a horse stomach. Guys, have you ever seen anything like this? It's like a giant hot pocket. But first, breakfast, prepared by Galiya, the mother of the house. She starts by feeding her stove some wood and fire, topping it with a kazan and loading it with oil. Then she proceeds to knead the dough, a combination of milk, oil, flour, yeast, salt, and sugar. Galiya flattens the dough with a rolling pin and cuts it into small squares. All that's left is to drop them in and see them puff up into golden brown pillows known as Baursaki. While waiting for breakfast, Bekruz and I get acquainted with the farm. Bekruz, what are your thoughts on horses?
I love them, man. Riding, eating, whatever.
When I watched TV back in the day, it was always they were arriving at a farm or at some event, and the timing just happened to be perfect. Oh, we're arriving today at a farm as they happen to be slaughtering a horse. Can I tell you something? We have such a coincidence today. Coincidentally, we are arriving here today at this farm, and also today, they're slaughtering a horse. Kazakhstan's meat horses, though they receive less pampering than the riding horses, they are no common cattle in the hearts of the local people. 6,000 years of building their culture on the power and nutrients provided by horses have taught Kazakhs to respect every horse that gives its life to fill their bellies.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ağday ondasın, derek ornasın, iş jamanlık bolmasın, mına soyup atқан maldarыңды buyurtып жегіп, жұмыстарыңды беріп асың. Bismillah.
Man, you know what? I never seen this situation going on. For me, I tried to avoid it.
So it does bother you a little bit.
I got mixed feelings about it. In the end of the day,
they are majestic creatures.
Yeah.
That said, I know in Uzbekistan, where you're from, there is a fair consumption of horse meat. How come the horse meat here is always in the form of a sausage and not like a steak?
That's a good question. I have to think about it.
But it's just on a completely different level here. It's just like, you know, when you get tacos and they're like, do you want chicken or beef? Here, do you want horse or beef?
Yeah.
In a small home farm like this, slaughtering may only happen once a year, producing 500 to 600 pounds of meat. Is there any reason why it would be less common in Uzbekistan or more common here? It's lean, it's high in protein, and it's treasured by locals, meaning the price for horse meat is much higher than beef.
It's such a centric piece around nomadic culture, and in Kazakhstan, it's more prevails. Whereas in Uzbekistan, like people are living settled life for a very long time, and those nomadic tribes that we have, they're just so abysmal, they're so small. Here, it's more like in a bigger magnitude.
So later today, we're going to be building up to an epic horse meal. Oh my gosh. About to dig into some horse colon. But first, breakfast. Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Joining us for breakfast, Zhannur, the young master of this farm. Beside him, Zhar, a wise historian and political scientist. I'm very excited to be here. I feel like you're not eating this type of breakfast every single day.
Yes.
You eat like this every morning?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
It's summertime. Families gather together. Any meals are crowded, so it's possible.
It's possible.
Plausible.
Plausible. It is plausible. In front of us lay fruits, nuts, pastry products, mutton, multiple types of cream and cheese, and, of course, the Baursaki. It's delicious. It's like a beignet.
What's beignet?
It's like a French fried dough, but they put powdered sugar on top.
Oh, okay.
Super delicious. Fried bread is pretty common in Kazakhstan, right?
Yes, traditionally this is something which wouldn't spoil for even a month, a year, so you can carry with you while raising horses.
The meat here, could I just break it off with my hand? What's the polite way to do it?
We need a knife for that.
Oh, what the heck? He got a huge piece.
Maybe he likes him more.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Love.
Jackpot. I'm gonna try it out. Room temperature, lamb, sheep.
Really
good.
nice. Yeah, I like it.
It tastes like it was just boiled with a little bit of salt, if I had to guess. So it just has that nice congealed room temperature texture to it. Well, it tastes good. The bread and mutton are tasty, But I'm here for the horse, and soon we'll be eating a whole meal cooked inside a horse's stomach. But before that, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Olafly.
So you guys know I love traveling for food. In fact, right now I'm in China, but staying connected when you're traveling from one country to another can be a total nightmare. And that's where Olafly saves the day. Olafly is a global eSIM provider that works in over 200 destinations. They've got 8 regional plans and unlimited data plans in 155 countries. So you won't run out of data in the middle of nowhere when you're trying to post that epic lunch selfie. And with hotspot capabilities in 162 places, you can share that connection with your travel buddies too. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, why not just buy a local SIM? Here's why. Well, Olafly is way better, especially if you're only in the country for a short time. Why waste valuable hours searching for a SIM, dealing with language barriers, or navigating confusing setup instructions? Also, there's no better feeling than landing and having immediate internet. No hidden fees, no overpriced data, just smooth, reliable service right from the start. With Olafly, you won't even need to swap out your current SIM card. You can keep your regular number, so your WhatsApp contacts and all that good stuff stays the same. And guess what? If you run into any issues, they've got a support team that's actually there 24/7. None of that annoying chatbot stuff. Real people ready to help. And they've got a 4.6 rating on Trustpilot with over 41,000 reviews. Setting up your eSIM is the easiest thing ever. All you have to do is go to the Olafly app or website, search your destination, pick your plan, and either scan the QR code, or if you've got iOS 17.4 or higher, click the button to install. Your eSIM will arrive in under a minute via email and WhatsApp. So next time you're headed on an adventure, grab your Olafly eSIM and make staying connected one less thing to worry about. Click the link in our description and use the code BEFRS to get 5% off your eSIMs and top-ups. Now, back to the show.
Galiya must wash the horse's stomach thoroughly with plenty of water and lime to minimize the gaminess before bringing it to the cooking area.
This thing is... I shouldn't have touched it. This thing is absolutely massive. And soon this will become a cooking vessel. I cannot wait to see what this looks like when it's cleaned up and stuffed full of food. A lot of the food in Kazakhstan is rooted in nomadic culture, nomadic eating, and the nomadic lifestyle. Long ago, they would have used all kinds of animal organs, especially the stomach, for cooking. You may have seen this before with sheep, but today we're gonna be seeing it with a horse stomach. This is an absolute first for me.
While Galiya works, her son reveals a distinct tradition of Kazakhstan.
This is our farm. We have horse, sheep, and cows here. Traditionally in Kazakhstan, the youngest son inherits the farm, the house, so he's the main heir of the family. That's how it goes. And you have to live with your parents if you're the youngest son. While older sons, they could live on their own. So with the inheritance...
There's a catch.
Yes.
You're not just throwing parties and raves. You're taking care of mom and dad.
If I can elaborate on this, youngest kid will live least with their parents. This is kind of comforting that at least he's gonna take care of them, and plus he might be young where they're gone, so he has at least a base so he can build up on his future.
Are you looking forward to one day taking over this property?
Yeah, he's ready.
But here's the thing. Are you worried your mom might have another kid?
Ата-анаңыз басқа бір бала тапса.
It's a reasonable question. It could happen, Bekruz.
I'd be happy, yeah, if that happens.
I think that's very healthy.
I hope the old kings would have the same philosophy.
Yeah, no kidding. Horse meat, potatoes, bell peppers, and carrots. All are rubbed thoroughly with the salt, pepper, and garlic mix, then set aside to absorb those flavors. These are the main ingredients for today's finale. But we need more. Bekruz, later today, we need horse milk. It's a key ingredient to one of our dishes that we're going to be consuming later on. The only problem is we need someone to milk a horse.
Okay, I know what is going.
He would do it, but early this morning, he sprained his wrist.
I don't think it's a coincidence, bro.
We need someone to milk a horse, and I say, why not you?
I knew that you're gonna bring me down here and make me do some weird stuff. But the only way I'm doing it, I have to do it with you.
Like tandem horse milking?
No, not tandem, we'll take turns.
So, from here, we're gonna head out to the pasture. There's one horse with its daughter that's waiting for us. There's the horse.
There is a horse.
It's important when milking a horse, first of all, check the gender.
Obviously, yeah.
It looks like a female. Bekruz?
I heard that if there is a fly, if it bites and it's gonna just,
Oh, like a horse fly.
Yeah, there is a horse fly, definitely.
What do you want? You want a helmet and some oven mitts?
I want to abort the mission. That's too much. I hope I'm not gonna get a horse kick on my face.
Do you want me to go first?
Go first, yeah.
That backfired. I thought he'd feel some kind of shame.
No shame. You can do it. You muscles, you work out, go for it.
Okay, I've been told to not announce everything that I'm doing in a loud,
articulate voice.
Otherwise, it's gonna know and takes a pre-actions.
You get on your knees? Shh. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, boy.
Look, he's covering its eye. Its milk bag is really deep in there. Trying to get up on the nipple. Horses only have 2 nipples, if you guys didn't know. And you gotta just like kind of cinch it at the top. That's like a valve. You open the valve and then you squeeze with the other fingers and it should squirt into the bucket.
Twist it, man.
All right, I got a little squirt. It's creamy. That's how it's done.
Oh my God.
Give it a shot.
Okay.
All right, let's see. All right, the Bekruz is going in. Yeah, cinch the top.
I am cinching. See?
The horse can tell it's a different set of hands. My hands are very soft.
Oh, I'm getting something.
Now, if you look at Bekruz's posture, it's like he's ready to recoil at any moment.
Okay.
You got a little something?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Victory.
I did it.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we got something.
There we go. We got something.
We got
That's something. You made it seem like you didn't want to do it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, you didn't want to?
With every inch of my body, I didn't want it to do it. But I think we did a tremendous job. Easy handshake.
Yeah.
This fresh horse milk will be a tasty beverage at our final meal. Meanwhile, the main course is just one step away from being finished.
The final steps for our stuffed stomach is about to begin. Right here, the horse stomach, looking big, slimy. Ugh. Brother, ugh. So the first thing she does is she actually turns the stomach inside out. We want that rough, textury part on the inside and the smooth, slimy part on the outside. Now she takes the meat and just like helping a cow give birth, she just kind of shoves it deep inside the stomach. This meat is a special cut. This is coming from the back legs of the horse. Big, super lean chunks of horse meat. But if you take a look at this right here is a special cut that's cut from the spine and some meat below. This is meant for the guest.
This unusual cut of meat, though impressive, is not even close to the most bizarre ingredient going into this horse's stomach. I'll reveal that mysterious component soon.
From here, she's gonna finish stuffing it with this meat. Then she's gonna sew it up like a World War II nurse and throw it in the Kazan. To cook, it only takes a scant 3 hours, and then we're gonna be chowing down on this for our final meal, and I cannot wait.
Before diving headfirst into the epic main course cooked inside the horse's stomach, Bekruz and I test the water with a horse meat appetizer inside our countryside dining room, also known as the hay barn.
We have a very boisterous sheep behind you.
Yeah, now we are communicating.
Well, we have a similar IQ. Let's talk about this in front of us right now.
This is called Kuyrdak. It's a generic meal. It exists not only among the Kazakhs, but also among Kyrgyz and many other countries in the region.
Our Kuyrdak is prepared by Zhannur's sister, Aruzhan. First, she cubes the horse meat into smaller pieces.
Kuyrdak means fried meat. It could be of different kinds. Some could include certain organs. Usually with horses, not so common to eat lungs and livers and so on, along with the meat, because the meat is very delicious and precious itself.
Aruzhan tosses the horse meat into a kazan glistering with hot oil. She sprinkles salt and pepper onto the meat, stirs it well, and closes the lid to let it cook.
It's that feeling that makes you want it.
In the meantime, she makes work of the vegetables.
We have issues with carrots. Carrots in some meal are not acceptable, but potatoes somehow sneaked in the Kazakh cuisine very aggressively, although obviously it's a relatively new thing.
Hello, sneaky bastard.
I know, right?
Onion and potato leap into the kazan. When every component has reached the desired tenderness, our cook scoops them out and garnishes them with chopped scallion and dill.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, please, yeah.
That's really good.
Wow.
Considering it's a very lean meat, it is not tough. I think they've stewed it for a long time, so it's really softened up the meat. Most people would probably confuse it for beef.
Yeah,
Sometimes beef can even be a bit gamey, but horse has such a clean flavor. Can you notice a distinct difference when you're eating beef versus horse?
Horse meat is usually darker when cooked. It's more muscle, less fat. Horses are very selective in terms of what they eat. Because of that, it's also believed that the meat is healthier. Plus, horses are a very athletic animal. They don't stay in one place. It's a healthier body compared to the cows and bulls, which would basically stay in one place, eat grass.
Yeah, I've never seen an animal that can get so fat from grass. That's impressive. Next door in Uzbekistan, have you ever had a dish like this?
No, for us, horse meat comes in one form of that sausage, so we put it on other dishes. But as a separate dish, we do not use it in a daily cuisine. So for me as well, this is really exotic. Maybe I'm hungry or not. I can definitely see the quality of the meat, and I'm lost for words. I love it.
Our country has such a limited view when it comes to what's okay to eat and what's not okay to eat. Basically, it's like chicken, pig, cow, and then seafood, who cares? What do you think about just this stark difference between two different cultures?
That's the perspective of the settled Western. The lifestyle there did not require a horse. Horse was a sign of very high status, was very expensive, while here the life is different.
The people of Kazakhstan have a deep connection with their horses that goes back to nomadic times. These beasts of burden were their source of power, materials, and fuel in the form of milk and meat. These days, Kazakhstan has around 118 horse farms that manage over 3 million horses in total.
Nomadic cultures, they don't like pork, they don't like pig, they cannot move with you.
Right.
So it's logical to eat horse. It's very mobile animal. It can move from one place to another very fast. So this was the best way to adapt to the environment. If we would never have a morality of not eating horse, then we wouldn't survive.
13 pounds is the average amount of horse meat consumed by one Kazakhstani each year. This, combined with the horse meat that's exported to Japan, Russia, and Uzbekistan, pushes the production of horse meat in Kazakhstan to over 170,000 tons annually. Believe me when I say, they're not horsing around.
Can I tell you, this is one of the most beautifully strange, wonderful things I've ever seen in my life. This meal shouldn't be possible to create, but yet here it is right in front of me. I am in awe of your ability.
Thank you.
So humble. In just a moment, we're gonna slice this open and reveal what's inside. But first, horse milk. This is the horse milk that both myself and Bekruz squeezed out of one of the horses on this property. Bottoms up. Wow, it's sweeter than I expected.
Yeah, it's like someone put 2 spoons of sugar in it.
It's not bad.
You can add it into your coffee.
Horse cappuccino.
Yeah. Before we slice into it, I want to say this reminds me a lot of something that I tried in Mongolia, something called Kuyrdak. And that was when they took a whole sheep and they basically cooked its meat inside its own body. Have you ever cooked this before?
Around the new year, a friend of mine had a birthday and she asked to cook something special for her birthday. That was the last time she cooked.
Did you put a birthday candle in the middle? No.
She didn't.
Bekruz, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's do it. Oh, wow. She penetrates it. Immediately it explodes with horse broth. Oh my gosh. This is like from another planet. As she's beginning to separate it and split it open, and you can see the potatoes, the vegetables, and these giant chunks of horse meat on the inside. This is a masterpiece. So, guys, we got big old hunks of horse. Please. It's got some bite to it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a piece of Wagyu, but it's got great flavor. And I still like the texture too. It's very good. Not to mention, these potatoes are perfectly soft and they've soaked up all that horsey flavor. And generally, the stomach can impart a lot of gamey flavor. Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't feel it, huh?
I don't feel it.
I've never had that before, so it's new for me too. Today is my lucky day as well.
Hey, a little bit of history right here for you.
This is called QARTA. It's the lower part of the intestine.
Colon, huh?
Yeah.
High level of colonoscopy going on right now. Oh my god.
Ooh, it's got some smell to it.
I'm gonna get the smallest bite.
As far as colons go, that's up there.
It's delicious, actually.
Very chewy, something between the texture of a boiled squid and maybe a stomach. Slightly gelatinous, but chewy at the same time. And it tastes like the salty horse broth, a bold flavor, almost smoky, and it's still in my mouth.
This is, an interesting spectrum of it.
From here, there is another base layer. I would call it the foundation of this meal.
Now this is the secret I've been keeping. A horse sausage, locally known as KAZY. And the making of it is like no sausage making you've ever seen before. After thoroughly washing the intestines that will become the sausage casing, Galiya uses the horse's own trachea as a rigid tool to funnel in some abnormally large meat chunks.
It all starts right here with the horse rib meat. This has already been seasoned with salt, pepper, and minced garlic. And then she just uses her thumb to skillfully shove the meat inside without breaking the intestinal casing. One thing I want you guys to really experience is the sound of this meat being shoved into the intestine. That's not sound effects, I swear. All right, she's almost done. The sausage is almost complete. And there it is. So now she's gonna close this one end by shoving a toothpick through it. Then she's gonna cut the other side and seal that too.
The horse sausage cooks inside the horse's stomach together with the horse meat and the vegetables. Now for this meal's crucial carbohydrate component, conceived from salt, flour, egg, and water. Galiya kneads the dough and rolls it out thinly before cutting it into palm-sized squares. The small squares splash into the boiling stomach broth as dough and come out as Kazakhstan's signature kisbek. Though I'd call it a horse stomach hot pocket, this protein mixed with these noodles is actually the equestrian version of this country's national dish, Beshbarmak.
That's a monster sausage, my man. Either that or this horse had one hell of a tapeworm.
I think horses don't have tapeworm.
Okay, you know what? Your facts are getting in the way of my bad jokes. The sausage looks fantastic to me. It's basically rib meat and intestinal casing. So I'm gonna grab some of these noodles to eat and combine with the sausage. Now the noodles are already soaked in that broth, essentially a horse stock.
Noodles are great, bro.
That's really good. Oh my lord, it is so rich, heavy, but rich in almost like a buttery way. Then you have the dill, which adds a little bit of freshness to it.
I know that the homemade food is always good, but here you can actually see it. It's like quintessential homemade.
You can also try the stomach.
Oh, on this trip, I ate stomach with Bekruz on the first day. He was a big fan.
You don't like it? I like it, but...
Yeah, you don't like it. I ate stomach with Bekruz on the second day. Huge fan. It's the same thing as Monty.
But instead of dough, they're using...
sheep stomach.
Oh my God.
I think your appreciation is probably swollen to new heights at this point.
Of course.
But I got a monster piece of horse stomach right here. Cheers, gentlemen. Wow. You have to admit,
It's great. It's interesting.
it's such a clean taste.
Even though I tried different versions of stomach of different animals, wow. My first time trying horse, definitely it's a unique experience.
It's still an odd texture, but the flavor, it's not gamey, it's
not repellent.
Yeah, you know, we had some challenging experiences in the last couple of days, and I was profiling. And this stomach, I did the same thing. It felt slimy on my hands, and I thought, this is gonna be brutal. But then trying it now, with an open mind, it's excellent. It tastes like it's been cleaned very well, and cooked even better. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, hands down.
For you, you know, the lifestyle out here, it's so different from Almaty. It's so charming. It feels relaxed, although I know there's a lot of work to do on the farm. I'm curious how much has changed from the time you were a child until now?
Life has changed to a great extent in a good way because life here was different. We had to wash our laundry in the river. Now it's much easier. We have washing machines. And also with a dish like this, we were not in a situation to cook dishes like this. We never thought we would. But now we do it from time to time. Back then, the meat part was much heavier. But over time, pepper, carrots, onions being introduced into the Kazakh cuisine as well.
So the diet used to be much more meat heavy.
Yes.
If you had to choose one era, which is better, the time when you were a child or now?
Both times were good, and luckily in her lifetime, both her childhood and what she has now are both nice, happy, with lots of delicious food.
A life I aspire to live. A life full of delicious food from beginning to end. Maybe don't say end. Beginning too well into the future.
Hungry for more fun food videos? Join me at more Best Ever Food Review Show, a channel that's unfiltered, raw, half the quality and twice the fun.
You walk away and come back. Oh, look, the server.
Subscribe now and you probably won't regret it.
From what I know about Kazakhstan, they're willing to milk just about anything, whether it be from a camel, a horse, a cow, a sheep, cat. Can you milk a cat?
No, since you don't eat cats, you don't milk cats.
That's a good philosophy, I like it.
Whatever you cannot eat, you don't milk.
I'm about to milk some of this bread right now. Would this just kind of hang out until it's gone?
Yeah, leftover could be eaten later on.
This is like American Bachelor style though. Just like, all right, I've got some meat. I'm just gonna graze on it at the counter until it eventually disappears. What's gonna happen is first the farmer is gonna milk the horse so you can watch from afar, see how it's done, and then apply those lessons for when you milk the horse. Oh, he gets on his knees.
Like proposing to a horse, huh?
Like he's proposing to the horse.
No, but my grandma used I used to cow milk.
What's a cow? What's that mean?
Have you ever horse the milk? Go
Horse
to the
to
bar.
milk?
Yeah. Have you ever?
Boom, guys, that is the end of this video. Horse in Kazakhstan. What do you think? Let me know. Are you open to it? If it was at Publix or Trader Joe's, would you pick up a pound? Not possible? But let me know. Otherwise, I want to say a huge thank you to Bekruz for joining me. You can find and follow Bekruz on Instagram right here. Give him a follow and see his fun adventures in Uzbekistan and beyond. Otherwise, that is it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. All right.
Going there?
Yeah.
Where?
Horse. I think we peaked.
Oh man.
Is there any animal bigger or more grand than a horse?
Bigger horse. Or two horses.
What about a camel?